So what are you doing, Daniel?
Water and alcohol. Just cleaning it up with water and alcohol. Making sure it's all done. The roof didn't need to be clayed. It's a brand new car. But now we're doing water and alcohol and getting all the dust off.
So if this was like maybe like maybe just like a year-old car, maybe even like 6 months.
If it was driving for 2 weeks, I would be clay barring it. And I checked over it. There's nothing on this roof. Brand new.
I literally picked up this car 2 days ago, so so yeah, it's brand new. So a couple of things we didn't show you, but we removed the antenna, and there's some pictures of that and how to get in there. Put masking tape over the drip rails. The car's so new that what Daniel's found out is that trying to remove these like you did the old Subarus, the clips just seem to be a little bit more fragile, and basically Daniel's still going to be able to do a full wrap. You're not going to see any of the white anyway. And we'll kind of show you how he does it. But the masking tape, just put this on there because then the vinyl doesn't stick to it like it would the roof rail, so it'll just come off easier. Alright. We'll come back for the next step.
Yep.
So it took two of us, so we couldn't operate the camera at the same time. But you can check out, and I'll put a link in the description of Sharkfin WRX's video showing how they actually start the install. But we ended up going with a piece that was 65 inches long, 50 inches wide. Used two guys to kind of get it set on here, and Daniel's just now going and kind of just starting to put it down, just getting out the major wrinkles, making sure everything's covered up before he actually starts to squeegee it onto the paint. So you can see, you know, we kind of come over a little bit here. The window actually stops right around here, right? So it's not a ton of extra material, just a couple inches on the front, a couple extra inches on the front and back. Daniel's just spraying it down a little bit.
I spray it down during install so I can kind of watch where I put my squeegee down at, and also keep it from scratching. So you can tell that by it being wet, you can see where you've squeegeed down so far. This is just a preference. This is the way I do it.
And Daniel says it reminds him of mowing the grass. So yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, you can definitely see right where you're taking off the water. It kind of helps you keep track of where you've gone and where you haven't gone. And so on this 1080 3M product, he's actually just pushing all the air out and getting it to lay down. And we'll still come back over it later with heat to actually activate the glue so it sticks on there permanently. All right, so he's just going to continue going on through that. I'll come back as we get to the edges and start doing some final detail work.
It's going to be here. The tape was laid on these so we don't cut, destroy your drip rails.
Right.
We'll do a light cut, and you don't need to do about halfway through. Which will give
so actually where you're at right now is probably like dead center of the drip rail?
Yep, and it'll give you enough to tuck in to where no white will be visible.
All right.
And it's just a light cut. All you're doing is really scoring the vinyl so you can peel it apart. You're not trying to go through it or go through the tape under.
Okay.
Biggest thing is you're not trying to scratch that drip rail.
So just to clarify then, when you're doing this, the pressure you're applying on it with the knife is not even really enough to go all the way 100% through the vinyl.
Yeah, you'll see right now it's not fully cut. I'm kind of ripping it away.
And then you can see here we actually had the masking tape underneath too, right? So a little bit of extra protection, plus the vinyl just doesn't like to stick to masking tape, so it's a lot easier to pull off. You not put that on there, it would not have pulled away like that. So now you're just kind of like lifting up the edges off of the drip rail in preparation to actually start tucking it. So just going down, down, down. And I'll come back when we actually start to tuck it in. Starting to tuck this in right here, right? And so basically what you're doing is you got a lifted edge right there, and you're just literally pushing it. That's it.
just pushing it in.
You're not like trying to feed it into the gap with your fingers or anything.
Nope, it's, you know, as long as it's loose here, you run it into the channel, and it should lay where it needs to go. As long as you're pushing the pressure right and all the way through, getting it all the way down. And you'll actually feel it as you're going in with the vinyl set.
So just lift it off the masking tape, take the squeegee, push it in.
And just work your way back, making sure you're starting from the corner. You know, you don't want to leave any water or any air back here, so you start in and push that air all the way through.
So my eye doesn't pick it up as well as the camera does. But like right there, right? It's kind of like a little bit of a bubbly thing. Will that just like come out?
This right here?
Like right here.
Let's see. If we basically just go in with our hand, we can probably
Also,
get
you
it
can
out
just
right
even
now.
use your fingers.
Yeah, and then if there was something that didn't move, give it a little bit of heat. But go over it with the squeegee again. The 3M vinyl is super forgiving. Like it's made for car wrapping, so they know what stuff you're going to encounter.
And again, I'm only pointing this out for you guys watching the video. I mean, what Daniel would do is just do the whole thing, and then, you know, he'll go back and do the spot checks and the detail at the end. It's not like that has to be done immediately or it's stuck forever. If there's a little bit of an air bubble, you can always go back and take care of it. All right, so that's the side. So we'll do that on the driver's side and the passenger side. And then we'll come back when we do the tucking in around the rubber seals at the front and rear window. That'll be a little different. We're up here at the front window, and Daniel will just kind of tell you what he's doing.
The vinyl's set right at the lip of the rubber trim, which is under here. You can't see it, but it's basically set right at the lip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overcut it.
Okay.
And I'm just going to use the lines that are made into the car already. Your trim's here and your roof cap's here. So I'm going to cut right in between, and that's going to give me enough extra bleed where I can tuck it into that rubber seal. You can't see it right now, but we'll cut it, and then you'll kind of get an idea. So we're cutting it right in the center. I'm not running the blade on anything. The blade's just kind of freely moving.
So it's just an air space in there. So he's actually cutting all the way through, but the tip of the blade's touching nothing but air, an air pocket. And basically where he was cutting, I'll show you over here, we've already done it. He was basically cutting halfway from where we set down the vinyl to the end of the rubber window gasket, right? So you have that space now, and this extra excess vinyl is what he's going to tuck in underneath this weather stripping of the window so that you won't see any white. And this is actually a good example because it's a white car, so if there is anything to see, you'll definitely see it. But what can I tell you? You won't see it.
I'll come over this side and I'll show you how to walk through it. So to get rolling, I gotta lift the vinyl up so you can see the trim.
So he's not cutting, he's just using the blade just to grab an edge for his fingers.
Gonna roll it up a little bit, and I'm gonna put the blade right there to grab that out.
So see what he's doing there? He's just pulling that weather stripping back.
And I use like whatever card I can find. You know, right now I got like some kind of game card, but any hard card to get in there and be behind the seal. And just hold it forward so I can tuck the vinyl.
You see what he's doing there? So he's getting in between the paint and the plastic, or I mean the roof, and then he's tucking the vinyl in there.
So now you can see what that looks like.
So you see that? Let me see if I can focus, right? So right here, where my fingernail is, that's the rubber, and basically all I did is just pushed it right down in there. And see over here is where you have the excess vinyl. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to pull this back, and then he's just going to push it down in. Pretty simple. And I can tell you right now, having tried to do some vinyl work, I mean, this shows you how to do it, but it looks easy because Daniel's done it a few hundred times. So, I mean, by all means, this is totally doable, but just take your time.
Okay. Gives you a little bit more so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, we basically just walk it all the way across. You want to make sure you don't crease the vinyl as you're doing it, so just be delicate with it. But it's doable, and you get a nice clean finish like that.
Sweet. All right, guys, we'll come back when we hit the back window. It's going to be pretty much the same, but we'll show you that as well.
Back window, same deal as the front. There's a rubber molding that goes around the rear that we'll tuck into. On this side, a little different from the front. I'll use the rear window to trim against, knowing that there'll be enough bleed if I use that, to tuck in. So kind of just run the blade against the window. Use that as your guide.
Okay, so on this one, rather than going down midway across the weather stripping, he's actually pushing all the way up against the rearward side of the window, or the top side of this window glass. He's running the razor blade right along it, and that's how he gets his edge for where he cuts. And again, this one, unlike the sides, he's not scoring it. He's just going all the way through because there's nothing to cut on the other end, just air. Just pulling it all back. And then basically going to do the same technique as he did on the front. He's going to pull back the rubber,
yep.
Right?
So you'll see once we get under here that there's a rubber seal. Lift back the vinyl a little bit.
See that, guys? You can see the rubber there where it stops getting glossy, right? That's the rubber seal.
Yep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the blade in there. You want to make sure you don't cut the vinyl as you're doing this, because it's kind of stuck to it right now. So start there. Put the card in.
See that?
And you're just pulling that rubber seal back so you can stick the vinyl in. And once you get started, it's pretty easy. Like, I'm going to leave that and I will trim that out later. But
that's it.
Got it going there. Now we're just going to continue to walk it through.
Alright, so see that first step is pulling the rubber back. The second step is taking the squeegee in and just pushing. There you go. And Dana's just going to do that on the whole side. And we'll come back and we'll kind of show you how we finish up the corners when we get there. Up here, we're almost done with the edges and we're just doing the final detail work on, let me see if I can get that focus, on the corner. So if you can see here, right over the masking tape, so we still have a little bit of vinyl sticking out, so we're just trying to get the corner done. So tell them what you're doing there, Daniel.
I kind of just use my thumb to round it out, make sure that you don't got any creases, but if you see as I'm going down, I'm rounding it and getting that finish on it, and then the rest of it will get tucked. And I got it. So just sleeved right under that. Peel this up and you'll see that that corner is fully rounded out. There's no creases, nothing. It's a nice clean finish.
You can see here along the back, right? Can't see any white. It's wrapped up past the gaskets. And then over here on the front, it's the same deal, right? So we're coming all the way up here to the front. There's focus. No white. Even down the rails. See that? It's tucked in so much you can't see any white. So Daniel, like if somebody were trying to do this on their own, right? How long do you think it would take them to do it?
I would say give yourself 3 hours and make sure you got a buddy with you to help you out.
So make sure you got a buddy. Give yourself the better part of half a day to do it on the weekend. Any last tips, tools of the trade, things to consider for the first timer?
Make sure you got a good sharp blade. Use a felt edge squeegee.
Felt edge squeegee, good sharp blade.
Then,
I know people on YouTube, you guys don't like to just hear good sharp blade. Hey, what are you using, Daniel? What kind of brand do you use that?
This is actually a cheaper blade. I grabbed what I had cheap, but I usually have a nice, it's called an Olaf blade, and it's a really good blade, but I'm out of blade replacements, so I'm using something cheap right now, but maybe don't put that in the video.
He actually knows what he's doing, so it's a little bit...
So I got it. But yeah, use a nice sharp blade.
So you got to kind of treat yourself as a teenager making his first shave. Use good stuff. Daniel's been shaving for a while, so he can use a little bit duller blade and get by. But
there you go.
So yeah, I mean, you know, guys, it's, you know, we didn't film the whole process because we didn't want you guys to have to watch a long video. But you saw all the steps that go into doing it. I mean, it looks pretty good. We're just going to finish up the sunroof here, and we'll come back and shoot that. But it's looking good. It's looking really good.
If you're ready to rock on the sunroof, let's do it.
We deal with cutting out the vinyl for the sunroof because obviously you don't want to leave the sunroof black. Otherwise, you never open it again.
So you can see like the edge of the sunroof here. What we're going to do is using the blade, we're going to cut in about 2 inches and about right in this area, right on the glass. And as long as you don't have, as long as it's a glass top, you're fine. And just running it. It doesn't need to be a perfect shape. Just give yourself like 2 to 3 inches.
Basically, guys, all we're doing, right, is we're just trying to take out the big section of vinyl here in the middle. Not up to the edge, but just enough so that we can actually go inside the car and put the sunroof back down.
Exactly. It'll be tucked. It'll be nice and tucked, so when your sunroof is open, it'll be black as well. So that's what that looks like.
All right. You can see the reflect. Look at that. Look how shiny that is. That's like paint. You can actually see the premium sign hanging up on the wall over there. That's where we're at. Look at that. All right, so we'll cut this out, we'll come back and we'll show you tucking it in. All right, so we've cut it all out. You can see how much we cut, right? So in some places about 2 inches, some places about 3, some places it's like 3.5. It's not an exact science, guys. And then all we're doing is we're coming along here and we're basically just lifting it up off of the glass portion because we got to go back inside the car and lower the sunroof, so we got to pop it up off of the glass. And like so Daniel, I was pulling this up over here, and I actually pulled it up and it came up a little bit past the...
That's fine.
So don't worry about it, guys, if you come up a little bit into the paint. You know, just get it up, pull it off of there, get it unstuck.
Keys in there, so I can open it.
There's center console. All right, so Daniel's going in the car. I'm going to start to lower this guy. So it's good to have 2 people. One person to kind of hold it up. You're clear. And that's it. Roll it all the way back. We're going to take this little wind deflector here and just use some painter's tape or something. We'll mask it down, get it out of the way. And so you can see the white edge, right? That's what Daniel's going to cover up. The roof is back. And so what are you going to do now? Why are you using the heat on this one where we didn't use heat before?
I'm going to conform it in. It's
okay.
Make it more pliable. See how kind of just using your thumb, you're going to wrap it in into the channel.
I missed that a little bit here. Let's do this one. See how it's all wrinkled, guys? So he's heating it up, and you can actually watch it, right? Kind of gets all shiny, stretches nice and tight, the wrinkles come out, and then he's just using his fingers to push it down in there because it's a curve. So the reason why we're using heat here and we didn't use heat everywhere else to start is the heat just kind of helps it to get more pliable, loosens it up, and allows you to get around these curves, right? Especially in the corners. So we're going to go around and we're going to keep tucking it in and heating it like this. We're just using a heat gun. I mean, they cost like 10 bucks, so they're not that expensive. Harbor Freight's your friend.
Yeah.
But, you know, as we don't have it on a high setting, we're not blowing extremely high air, and we're not getting like right up on it. Hold it a few inches away, and just a quick, I don't know, quick dusting, quick spritzing or dusting of air, and that's all you need. Don't,
quick couple seconds.
You know, don't sit there and hold it on there, right? You're not trying to melt anything. You're just trying to give it a little bit of warmth.
If you stay there too long, you'll actually burn a hole in the vinyl. You're done.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that.
So just really quick, guys, that's all you need. And right now, I'd say we're in Southern California. It's like upper 70s, maybe low 80s today. So it's a nice day, right? But you're still going to just want just a little bit of heat. Not much. See that? Literally, see how quick that was? It's not much at all. And you'll know, right, Daniel? I mean, if you push it in and it doesn't go, then just give it a little more.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna keep tucking it in, and then we'll come back as we trim it out. The roof is back, and so what are you gonna do now? Why are you using the heat on this one where we didn't use heat before?
I'm gonna conform it in. It's
Okay.
Make it more pliable. See how kind of just using your thumb, you're gonna wrap it in into the channel.
I missed that a little bit here. Let's do this one. See how it's all wrinkled, guys? So he's heating it up, and you can actually watch it, right? It kind of gets all shiny, stretches nice and tight, the wrinkles come out, and then he's just using his fingers to push it down in there because it's a curve. So the reason why we're using heat here and we didn't use heat everywhere else to start is the heat just kind of helps it to get more pliable, loosens it up, and allows you to get around these curves, right? Especially in the corners. So we're going to go around and we're going to keep tucking it in and heating it like this. We're just using a heat gun. I mean, they cost like 10 bucks, so they're not that expensive. Harbor Freight's your friend.
Yeah.
But you notice we don't have it on a high setting. We're not blowing extremely high air, and we're not getting like right up on it. Hold it a few inches away, and just a quick, I don't know, quick dusting, quick spritzing or dusting of air, and that's all you need. Don't,
quick couple seconds.
You know, don't sit there and hold it on there, right? You're not trying to melt anything. You're just trying to give it a little bit of warmth.
If you stay there too long, you'll actually burn a hole in the vinyl. You're done.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that.
So just really quick, guys, that's all you need. And right now, I'd say we're in Southern California. It's like upper 70s, maybe low 80s today. So it's a nice day, right? But you're still gonna just want just a little bit of heat. Not much, see that? Literally, see how quick that was? It's not much at all. And you'll know, right, Daniel? I mean, if you push it in and it doesn't go, then just give it a little more.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna keep tucking it in, and then we'll come back as we trim it out. Finishing up, you know, basically you can see here, right, we've already tucked it in. And basically, after you do this, you go back with the squeegee, you just push it in a little bit with the squeegee to flatten it out, get all the air bubbles out, and then we're basically just cutting off all the excess vinyl, right?
There's a nice line to run your blade against. Tucks away, so it's real easy to follow it. It's a light cut.
You can see where he's going in.
Just want to do a light cut. In this area, it's a little easier because you can just follow the roof line. And you're able to pull that out. Just tuck it around.
That's pretty much it. So you're basically trying to leave enough material. Let me zoom out here. Trying to leave enough material so that you come past this edge. Because see, my finger's actually going in between the roof and the sunroof here, the glass and the metal. So you're leaving enough to come past this edge so that you can actually tuck it and go underneath like that. Just a little bit. I mean, you'd say maybe you're going past that lower edge by maybe about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch.
Exactly.
That's it.
Just enough there so that it has to grab on the opposite side. Secure to grab.
So that's all you're doing. You can just use your finger to kind of go in there and push it up. That's it. And we'll just finish it up all the way around. Now is that the last step, or do we still have one left? Do we still have to heat it?
You can give it a nice little heat to lock it down, but for the most part, the weather outside has cured it. But we'll heat it up. Let's give it a nice heat.
So we're pretty much done, guys. We're just going to finish cutting it up and tucking it in here to the sunroof. We'll be done. We'll come back with the heat gun. Again, you're not getting really close and for a long period of time. Just trying to activate the glue. But as you hear Daniel say, pretty much, like I said, we're talking about upper 70s, low 80s today in Southern California. And it's pretty much already activated the glue. But we'll hit it just to be on the safe side. And that'll be it. We'll be done. Premium Auto Styling, Riverside, California. Finished it up. It looks good. It looks sparkly.
We'll use the same cloth on yours. Cloth back and forth. We're doing red pellets too.